Tonight, this is the third annual Global Met Night. So this is put on by the Princeton University in association with all the regional groups, such as Princeton Club of Northern California. We are lucky enough to have our own Marnie Rosenberg, class of 1997, who is a career coach, who's going to be giving a about 30-minute presentation, and then we're going to have a structured networking event afterward, followed by some more general socializing. So without further ado, Marnie?
Thank you. My name is Marnie. I am a class of 97 graduate, as Ann said. I graduated with a degree in cultural anthropology, after which I started working in advertising in New York City at an advertising agency. And after more than 10 years in that field, with a lot of growth and a lot of success, I decided nonetheless that I was ready to shift careers into something that felt like it was in better alignment with other goals that I had for my life. So I planned and navigated a career transition into life coaching, eventually landing on career coaching as a specialty. So for the last few years, I have been working with professionals who find themselves at a career crossroads. And their backgrounds vary, their aspirations vary, different fields, different industries, but what they all have in common is a very strong desire to make their next career move a very intentional one, very carefully thought out, not just another move. And so what we work on together is trying to develop a better understanding of what they're really passionate about, a deeper understanding of the values that drive the decisions that they make, and not just career decisions, but life decisions overall. We try to uncover some of the blocks that get in their way when they're on a path to succeed, and we try and create a really clear vision of where they're trying to go so that they have a set of filters so that they can actually see it when they find it. And with all of this information that we work on together, we try and actually put together an action plan to move them towards what they're looking to do. So thinking about talking tonight, I really wanted to bring some of those themes that come out of conversations that I have with my clients to all of you. Should I do it? Where do I start? I'm stuck. What if I fail? These are the questions that we ask ourselves in these bigger transitions. And I know you all came here today wondering how to navigate through those. And so what I would tell you as a way to answer some of those questions, believe it or not, is to actually ask yourself more questions. Which may seem overwhelming, but I'm talking about very specific kinds of questions that dig deeper on your values, your overall goals. What is this all for? Those bigger questions have questions that can help you find answers. And that's what I want to talk about today. So we've all faced those big 4 questions. Should I do this? Where do I start? What if I'm stuck? What if I fail? And what I would like to walk you through are some of the approaches that I use with clients to help them to get at that answer. Should I do it? Yes or no? I mean, those are really big answers, right? So talking about why would I do it? What's this for? Where is this going to take me? Those are the kinds of questions that will help you work some of that stuff out over time. So I want to start with catalysts for change. Certainly there are changes that we don't choose. Layoffs are a reality. Sometimes we, move across the country for family. These things don't feel voluntary at all. We can still ask ourselves some of the questions that come, but definitely the catalyst is sometimes it's just there. But thinking about types of voluntary change, it's really useful to ask yourself, what's missing from my current situation? What's wrong with this? I know what I'm saying no to. I'm saying no to that boss who doesn't listen and doesn't respect me. I'm saying no to not having a sense of a path or growth. I'm saying no to working in a small team, something that doesn't feel right about that. Asking yourself what's missing in your current situation is a really good start, as I will repeat again in a moment, to figuring out how to right the situation in your next move. What would be your ideal outcome This is where the what's missing from my current situation, and translating that into what do I want from my next situation. Sometimes that translation is challenging, right? Sometimes it's so much easier to talk about what we don't want than what we do. But if you can get there and you can create a vision for where you'd like to go, it becomes this filter for you as you explore different opportunities. Well, I have this vision of how things could be, and these other opportunities are presenting themselves to me. Could it fit? Could it be a match? Right? Exploring that and thinking about your career in the same way, let's paint a really clear picture of everything that you want, and then you will either recognize it when you see it, or you will have the conviction to go out and find it when the opportunity hasn't just landed on your lap. So that kind of visualizing can be really helpful. How does your ideal outcome align to your values and your life goals? I could spend all day talking about this. Values are the #1 thing that I talk about with most of my clients. We've talked about what you want. Let's talk about why you want it. What does it mean to you to have these things? There are these tangible things that you want. I want this kind of a job. I want to live in this kind of a space. I want to accrue this kind of knowledge or experience. What is that about for you? How does that map to these values that you have around intellectual curiosity, adventure, financial stability? That is a top value for all of us, right? How do I know that I'm going to be okay? I make a lot of decisions based on my values around security and stability. But I have all these other values too. So how can I make sure that these choices that I'm making in my career are aligned to what I actually want to get out of my life? Thinking also about how it will feel to have these things is really valuable. I have my clients create that vision of where they want to go, and then I challenge them to describe how it feels to have those things. That's part of the what does it mean to you? And when you connect to how good it will feel to be in the place that you want to be, doing the work that you want to do, and having what you want to have, that feeling becomes the best measure against new opportunities that come your way. And when you give yourself that perspective, what goes away is this sort of judgment around right and wrong, making right and wrong decisions. At any point in time, you are making decisions based on your values. And you will feel more confident about those decisions if you actually are in touch with what those values are that are driving the decisions. What will it take to make your vision a reality? Getting in the door was one that came up on the survey, getting in the door for first jobs and for moves. There are these tangible challenges that we're very aware of, right? I need resources, I need contacts, I need to manage my time, maybe I need a mentor. All these tangible needs for getting a transition done come readily to mind. But what about the intangibles? What about support? Who's supporting you through this transition? Change is hard. Transitions are hard. We need to feel supported. Where are you getting support for this transition? And if you're not getting it, where might you get it? Energy, right? Energy to make change. Energy to swim upstream or do something that's not staying the path. What's tying you down? What's draining you right now? If you have the kind of job or kind of personal life that's not giving you space to amp yourself up for this kind of change, it's going to be hard, right? So think about when you get stuck and you're feeling low, where your energy is going and how you might free up some of it to actually get to where you want to go. And then confidence and courage, right? We all need confidence and courage to make changes, to insist that our lives could be more satisfying or more anything, whatever the more is for you. Confidence and that conviction that you're doing the right thing. A lot of that does come from doing this work and knowing that at the moment that you're really pushing forward with change, that you really believe that this is where you need to be. So when you're thinking about what it will take to make this vision a reality, two things unfold, right? What are the biggest challenges and what do you have working in your favor? Some of the key themes that come out as challenges are taking risks, facing the possibility of failure, beliefs that you have about what you're capable of accomplishing, and how about rules that you live by. And the really neat thing about the rules that we create for ourselves is that we can actually throw them away when they stop working for us, or we can rewrite them. This is all about raising your awareness of what is getting in your way. We want these things, and we can sometimes come up with a list of everything that's getting in our way. At the end of the day, we are getting in our own way. And being aware of it just gives us more choice, right? You can choose to keep living by those rules, and that's okay. But isn't it great when you realize that you have a choice and that you want to stick with that rule because it's working for you? So the other side of this challenges piece is what do you have working in your favor? What strengths and knowledge and experience is actually supporting you through this? Certainly, if you explore some of these other areas, you've got a lot going for you, right? You've got a lot more clarity around what you want and where you want to go. You've got an awareness of what's driving the decisions that you make and some criteria for opportunities that would work out for you, right? So you have this clarity and focus about where you could go. And that's really powerful to have that kind of conviction that you know what kinds of opportunities you're looking for. Historical evidence is a good one too, right? So it's really easy to go down that path of all the failures that you've had that suggest that this one isn't going to work out either, right? Had that lemonade stand when I was a kid and couldn't sell a lemon. So, why would I do it now? The challenge is, let's flip that and talk about all the successes that you've had. All right, let's talk about how you got to where you are today. It wasn't an accident. You have a lot that's working in your favor. What are those strengths that you bring to the table? Final thing, seems so simple. What's one small step, one next step that you can take? Sometimes these changes feel huge, right? I need to get from here to there, and I need to do it in this amount of time, and I'm completely overwhelmed. It's amazing how just figuring out one next step that you can take can get some momentum going. Let's jump from here to there and see what happens there. How your perspective changes, how that opens up possibility, how you feel courageous and confident from what you've just done, that one first step. Yeah, there's a whole lot of steps ahead of you, but take that step. Give yourself credit for what you've done, how much easier it might have been to just stand still, and then plan your next step. It's a very effective way of moving forward from that stuck place. 7 questions, right? 7 questions to help you with 4 other questions. I know it's a lot of questions. I take a lot of time to work through this stuff with clients. It's not easy. Changes are not easy, especially the really big ones that we feel are going to transform our careers, transform the way we feel about our lives. But by going through this process and going through these questions and seeing how the answers might help you when you don't know where to start, or when you're trying to figure out whether you should do it at all, or when you're really worried about failure, the outcome of this is a lot more conviction about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and clarity about where you really could and might get to. It gives you much more ability to get yourself unstuck. And how about the self-awareness from going through this process, right? The more you know about yourself and what's driving those decisions, the more choices open up to you, absolutely. And that kind of awareness, that's going to impact you, in every area of your life, not just your career. You all have a lot of courage. Everything that you're working on, I truly believe that you can do it, and I hope that this gives you some tools to work through when you get stuck. Thank you.